Hey, welcome back to Clear Signals, your monthly AV dose from your AV experts here at Almo Pro AV. I'm your host, Keith Mecutchen.
And I'm John Wasko. And today we're diving into the hottest topic of education and hybrid classrooms with, different projection solutions.
So whether you're designing for K-12, higher ed, these questions we get asked all the time. I'm sure your customers are asking you. So, I think we have the right person for the job today.
Yes, joining us is Brian Rhatigan, our go-to expert for projection technology here at Almo. Brian, tell us a little bit about your role and what excites you about AV.
Hey guys, happy to be here. So I've been in the AV industry for about 20 or so years and kind of fell into it by accident, I think, as a lot of us have. But spent the majority of my career in distribution, and about 10 years ago, started supporting one of our projector manufacturers as a role of business development manager. It's just a technology that I enjoy. I'm comfortable talking about it and been doing it for a long time. So I'm just kind of gravitate towards it.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think we have some good questions for you that we've gathered from, like I said, our customers and some of their customers. So, when it comes to brightness, and I know it's such a general blanket, what do you recommend for hybrid classrooms? To keep the content visible, with the lights on and off, with or without remote or hybrid students?
Sure. Well, you're going to have a different result with the lights on versus the lights off for sure. And it's hard to pinpoint an exact, amount of lumens that would be applicable for every classroom. But generally speaking, if we're talking kind of like smaller images, 100 inches or less, that 4,000 to 5,000 lumen range is typically going to work. For larger images, maybe in larger spaces, it's going to depend really on how big the image is and how much ambient light is in the room. But we can mathematically, kind of figure out what would be needed.
Sweet. So laser versus lamp, maintenance cycles, warranty, what matters to people right now?
Sure. I think probably the biggest thing is going to be cost, right? Total cost of ownership. We hear that all the time. With laser projectors, you definitely have a bit of a higher upfront cost, but a lot less maintenance, specifically because of the lamps. I mean, you figure you're going to have to change, a lamp on average every 2 to 3 years. And that's a couple $100 every time that you have to do that. With a laser projector, you can expect to get probably close to 10 years, depending upon usage, before you would, need to think about replacing it. And you asked about warranty. With several of our manufacturers, the warranty terms that are offered on laser projectors are longer than what's offered on lamp.
So push the lasers, folks. We got it. All right. So ultra short throw versus traditional projectors. I don't want to say traditional in that sense, but what do you think is going to work best for a classroom? I know it's kind of another blanket general statement, but shadows are always, hide the shadows. That's always something we're trying to accomplish when it comes to that. So how can we help here?
Yep, that one I can answer with 100% certainty. If you can shorten that light path, an ultra short throw projector, you're going to alleviate the potential for shadows, right? It's just a matter of the person not standing in the light path. So for presenters that are going to be either using projectors in an interactive state, or they're going to be in front of the screen pointing, things like that, ultra short throw is definitely the way to go. If it's for a lecture center and the screen is high up in the room, presenters down below, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So with interactive and immersive projection, how can you kind of really boost engagement for both in-room and remote students?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think anytime that you can get somebody involved in a presentation, bring them up to the front of the room, have them actually engaging with the content, whether that be, annotating or solving a problem or what have you, I think that's always going to make for a more interesting presentation and keep people more engaged. So probably going to see a little bit more of a benefit from that within the room, but certainly still will benefit the people on the remote end as well.
Good. So especially speaking on the remote end, how do we integrate the classroom AV as a whole with those platforms? The Teams, the Zooms, the Google, Blue Jeans, stuff like that, for those hybrid experienced learners?
Yeah, sure. Well, the good thing is mostly all of those platforms are agnostic, right? They're running on a computer. You're going to plug in USB peripherals like cameras and microphones to work with those systems. In almost all cases, regardless of the micro camera that you choose, the system is going to function. Now, it's important to know that companies like Microsoft and Zoom do have third-party device certification. So they're going to, work closely with those manufacturers on the specifications to make sure that that product is going to work consistently and provide access to every feature within their software. So while mostly any product will work, my recommendation is always going to be to look at the certified list of devices.
Great. Thank you. So we've got one last question before we let you off the hot seat here. It's our signature question. What's your clear signal for success when it comes to AV projection in hybrid classrooms?
That's a pretty easy one to answer, actually, because I get asked about projector brightness day in and day out. And there's really two things that I look at to calculate what an acceptable image would be. And what is the screen size? Because a larger screen size takes more light to fill. And what is the amount of ambient light in the room? Almost always have the screen size, almost never get the light reading. So there's a lot of guesswork that's involved and a lot of questions and kind of using your best judgment. So what I would say to people is, if you don't already have one, get a light meter. If you have it, bring it with you on your site surveys. Take a light reading, provide that to your salesperson when you call in looking for a projector. It'll take all the guesswork out.
I don't know how much those are, but I feel like that would be a good tchotchke gift to give.
All right, Almo branded light meters.
There we go.
Marketing, and we will get these.
That's trademarked. That's trademarked.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry. But no, Ryan, we really appreciate your time, your insight, and we appreciate you all for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And don't forget to subscribe and join us next month as we tackle outdoor AV, all-weather displays. But until then, keep your signals clear and your classrooms connected.